Jeffrey Epstein, the disgraced financier, was a college dropout who managed to amass a fortune that's difficult to explain before dying mysteriously in his jail cell in 2019. He wasn't a rapper like P. Diddy, yet he owned two private islands, multiple private jets, and homes all over the world. He befriended presidents, princes, scientists, celebrities, businessmen, and billionaires, and was described by prosecutors in 2019 as a man of nearly infinite means. Yet, despite years of investigations, no one can say with certainty how he made his money.
What if I told you the most important part of the Epstein case wasn't the crimes themselves, but the money that made the silence possible? Because silence isn't accidental, it's financed. Legal immunity costs money, institution hesitation costs money, reputation laundering costs money. And in this case, money wasn't just present, it was structural. This is coin and context. And today we're following the capital behind the Epstein files. Most coverage of the Epstein files focuses on the crimes, the documents, and the names that are all intertwined in the whole conspiracy behind it. But those are the surface layers. The deeper question is economic. How does an individual accumulate enough financial and social capital to evade accountability for decades? Because systems don't protect people by default. They protect assets, donors, and stability. This isn't a morality story. It's a capital allocation story. And once you see it that way, the case becomes disturbingly clear. Publicly, Jeffrey Epstein was described as a hedge fund manager, a private financial advisor, and a consultant to ultra-high net worth individuals. But unlike traditional financiers, he had almost no public client list whatsoever, no transparent fund structure, and no audited performance history. And at the time of his arrest, investigative journalists and financial analysts estimate Epstein's net worth to be between $500 million and $1 billion. Not meaningfully verified, but consistently reported across all major outlets. That range matters because it tells us something important. This wasn't salary money, this was access money. Let's talk about known and documented assets, real estate footprints Epstein owned or controlled. A $77 million Manhattan mansion, a $56 million Palm Beach estate, a private island in the US Virgin Islands, and additional properties in New Mexico and Paris, to name just a few. Conservatively, his known real estate holdings exceeds around $150 million. Real estate isn't just wealth storage, it's actually leverage. Property anchors jurisdiction, enables borrowing, creates physical distance from scrutiny. This wasn't luxury for luxury's sake, it was financial ballast. In 2008, Epstein secured one of the most controversial plea agreements in modern US legal history. The results? Federal charges dropped. 13 months in a private county jail wing, daily work release, and broad immunity provisions. There is no public dollar amount attached to this deal, but that absence alone is the point. That's because the real cost wasn't a fine, it was the ability to deploy elite legal teams, negotiation leverage, political access. Legal analysts have repeatedly stated this level of protection is functionality unavailable without extreme financial resources. Impunity has an economic threshold. Most people would never reach this. Epstein is known to donate to universities, research labs, and scientific institutions. Confirmed reports place this known donation in the ranges of $800,000 to several million dollars. That number sounds small until you understand what he truly purchased. Not control, not ownership, but legitimacy. Philanthropy in elite spaces function as a reputation buffering tool, social laundering, institutions hesitation insurance. When institutions depend on donors, they hesitate to ask dangerous questions. This isn't corruption, its incentive alignment. Beyond public assets, Epstein controlled trusts, shell entities, and offshore structures. Investigators believe hundreds of millions more may have been held outside of US jurisdiction. No confirmed figures exist, but the structure in itself tells the story of an impenetrable system, with slow investigations, fragments accountability, raising the cost of enforcement. When money becomes abstract enough, harm becomes harder to trace. This case wasn't sustained by secrecy alone. It was sustained by capital density, institutional dependence, legal asymmetry, and financial silence. The Epstein files don't just ask who knew, they ask who benefits from not knowing. This wasn't a conspiracy, it was an economy in itself. An economy where money buys time, time buys silence, and silence protects power. Until financial accountability moves as fast as capital, this won't be the last case like this. This is Coin and Context HQ. If you want to know why behind the headlines, you're in the right place.
Help these people.
If we walked in, you're a mathematician. You're a mathematician. If we walked into that clinic where they're giving that money out to these people that are in the most dire straits of poverty and sickness, and told them that the money was coming from a, what are you, class 3 sexual predator?
Tier 1.
Was tier 1's the highest and worst?
No,
I'm the lowest.
I'm the lowest.
You're the lowest. Okay, tier 1, you're the lowest. But a criminal.
Yes.
That the money came from them. What percentage of people do you estimate? I understand you don't like probabilities. Do you estimate would say, I don't care, I want the money for my children?
I would say everyone said, I want the money for my children.
Did they know where the money came from?
I think if you told them, if I told them the devil,
100%.
the devil himself said, I'm going to exchange some dollars for your child's life.
Do you think you're the devil himself?
No, but I do have a good mirror.
It's a serious question.
I'm sorry.
Do you think you're the devil himself?
I don't know. Why would you say that?